Welcome again to another edition of Huckins on Film. I'm your host, Kyle Huckins, and I just got back from World War Z. This time I actually got there in time for the trailers, so we'll run through those really quick. Saw another trailer for You're Next. It looks like it could be a decent home invasion thriller. I think Barbara Crampton's involved. I'm seeing a lot about it on her Twitter. So I'll give him points just for that. I love her so much from those Stuart Gordon flicks in the 80s. And she'll always be okay with me. Thor 2. Man, as a comic book fan, I'm pinning so much of my hope on Thor 2. Because Iron Man 3 and Man of Steel sucked. I want a good comic book movie this year. I haven't gotten it yet. So, I got a lot riding on Thor. I think it does look fun, though. Saw a full trailer for R.I.P.D. Yeah, it's Men in Black combined with Ghostbusters. But I kind of want to see it just because Jeff Bridges looks like he's playing Sam Elliott. So, you know, it could be fun for that. Jeff Bridges looks like he's having an absolute blast in that. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious. And Ryan Reynolds isn't a terrible comedic actor. He just picks a lot of bad movies. But I'm holding out hope for R.I.P.D. I might see that. Got another one for Elysium, which I can't wait for. It's from Neil Blomkamp. I absolutely loved District 9. So, looking forward to this quite a bit. Also, between District 9 and Judge Dredd, I really just want more movies set in Johannesburg. Or that are at least shot in Johannesburg. So, most of Dredd was shot in Johannesburg, as well as District 9. And the place, it's just got a great look to it. It's, at least if you're making something very post-apocalyptic or just kind of grindhouse to it, it's a very rough-looking area. I get a lot of great visuals out of there lately. So, I'd like to see more use of Johannesburg. Anchorman 2. Confession time, I never saw the first one, so I don't really have any feelings towards part 2. Looks like it might be funny. I don't know, I might check it out. I haven't really decided. The new Wolverine flick. I'm the wrong person to ask because I was sick of Wolverine 20 years ago, and nothing has happened to cure me of that. So I'm not going. I don't care. I have been able to tolerate the character for decades, so yeah, I'm not going to bother. And finally, we got Scorsese's latest, The Wolf of Wall Street, with DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, and Matthew fucking McConaughey. This, it kind of looks like Scorsese's attempt at remaking Oliver Stone's Wall Street with DiCaprio as Gordon Gekko. It looks pretty wild and over the top. I want to. I'm going. It looks like a lot of fun. You know, it looks like a pretty crazy, over the top movie. And worst comes to worst, it's a Scorsese flick. Really, even his worst movies, still pretty good. So I can't really... I can't imagine not wanting to see that. So, now we're on the main feature, World War Z. Okay, I have read Max Brooks' original book, and I love it. I think it's just so incredibly well done. You know, it's one of those. It engrossed me to the point where I kind of forgot I was reading fiction every now and then. I thought he did that damn good a job. And when I heard this is going to be a movie, I was just kind of like, that's not the right format for this. This is. Because really, this should be an anthology series on like HBO or Showtime. One of those. Because it's going to have to be bloody and visceral. It's going to have to be pretty nasty. But there's a lot of good stories in there. So to try to get the whole thing into one movie just would not work. So they didn't even try. Because all this has in common is the title. What the book is the title. Other than that, whatever. This movie's hilarious. It's not supposed to be a comedy, but it's really funny. I mean, I wasn't expecting this to be good. I thought I was going to walk out of the theater mad. I was laughing. Because that was an atrocity. It's one of those. This might make my 10 best list. In the same way that if I had done one last year, Breaking Dawn Part 2 probably would have. Because it's funny. It's not supposed to be, but it is. I mean, I thought it was going to be bad. I wasn't looking forward to it. Then I'm watching the credits and like screenplay by. And then I saw the words Damon Lindelof. I totally forgot he was involved in this. I think I freaked out a few people in the theater because I let out a very audible fuck! Because, you know, his last movie was Prometheus, and you know how much I loved that piece of crap. I'll give him credit. This one's better than Prometheus. Only because all of the characters aren't aggressively terrible people who you want dead. I mean, there's really not all that many in this movie, and most of them serve no purpose. I mean, honestly, other than Brad Pitt, there's just everyone else, who cares? I mean, there's a whole plot line about him trying to keep his family alive and together. They're barely in the movie. They serve almost no purpose. I mean, the only thing I can really think of that his family accomplished was his wife Karen was played by Muriel Enis, or Enos. I'm probably screwing up her name, which is a damn shame because she could be Jessica Chastain's stunt double. They look very, very, very alike. Fine by me. Love Jessica Chastain. But yeah, don't really serve much of any purpose. Pitt's really the only character who's in this movie through the whole movie. And he used to be a UN investigator. You know, he's just really good at getting to the bottom of stuff. And the whole movie gets started when him, this virologist, and a SEAL team are heading to Korea to investigate a possible patient zero. And this is when I knew this movie was going to be awesomely terrible. Well, no, it's not really even a spoiler because it wasn't important to the plot at all. This virologist, he gets built up as being very important to all this. They get him to Korea, and they land, and of course the zombies attack. and they've given this guy a gun. Mind you, he's never held one before in his life. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with it. He probably should not have one. So they're trying to fight their way into this space that may or may not be deserted. He panics, runs back into the plane, and it's raining heavily. So the cargo ramp's a little wet. So he runs back into the plane, slips on a wet spot, and it somehow accidentally shoots himself in the head. And the theater started cracking up. Especially me, it's like, really? Why did you bother with that character if you were just gonna kill him off in such a stupid way? And from here, it is just a series of contrivances. It's... Ooh. I mean, it's just one after another saved by the plot. Oh, man. This is seriously one inept fucking script. Holy shit. I mean, I'm glad it was, because the fact that I was laughing, keeps me from getting really pissed off about the fact that this is an action flick and a zombie flick. And because it's PG-13, there's no blood. There's absolutely none. I mean, at one point, Brad Pitt, this gets shown in the trailer. There's one part where they're in a plane, and a zombie infection breaks out on the plane because the plot says so. Well, they blow out the side of the plane, and all the zombies start flying out due to explosive decompression. And, I'm just sitting there like, wow, you're really going to reference snakes on a plane? Because it was just, I've had it with these monkey fighting zombies on this Monday after Friday plane. Like, if Brad Pitt had yelled that, I would have been totally cool with the scene. Oof. It's just terrible. Anyway, the plane crashes, and of course him and his newfound partner survive. The only survivors, of course. And he's got a piece of shrapnel in his side. That's sticking out his back. But he's not bleeding or anything. Hell, his newfound partner is missing a hand because she got bitten on the hand. So, they tried Zombie 101 and just whacked the hand right off. And it worked. I'm not going to get into how did he know that would work, because I've seen enough zombie movies where they do that, and it's like, okay, it's kind of just a convention of the genre at this point. I can let it slide. And the best part is, with the massive abdominal trauma, you get the Lindelof staple of the massive abdominal trauma that's occasionally mildly annoying at a bad time. But other than that, it's all good. I mean, this is just... And this I can't put it all on Lindelof. I mean, apparently this thing was a train wreck long before he was brought in to try and fix it. Although, to be honest, this is kind of like trying to fix your murder problem by putting Ted Bundy on the payroll. probably just going to be a little counterproductive. But yeah, I mean, everything in this movie just happens because the writer says so. There's very few moments where it's, yeah, I mean, it was a series of, okay, he's just pulling this out of his ass as he goes. He figures out that zombies don't attack people who are already dying, which is fucking stupid to begin with. Because, you know, they don't attack an old man. And they don't attack this one bald kid. I mean, I guess he was supposed to be undergoing chemo, but it's just kind of a... Really? I mean, it's one of those... Kid was an extra, but they totally focused on it. And they even brought it back in flashback, just to really hammer home that point. It's like... Okay. So the zombies won't attack terminally ill people. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, right, because it's dumb. Oh. Yeah, this was an incredibly bad movie. But like I said, it's when it comes out on DVD, get some friends together, get it from Netflix, get yourself, you know, nice bottle of scotch, get some beers, you know, whatever your poison is. And just, like, you know, put that on. Just you know, if you're doing a bad movie night, World War Z totally works. It's that's the best thing I could say about it, is it's riffable. It's very riffable. It's not good. Oh God, is it bad. You know, it was the same series of contrivances that brought Prometheus down, but the characters weren't as aggressively horrible. So at least you kind of got some comedy out of it. I mean, unintentional comedy. I mean, hell, when the outbreak on the plane. They're almost to Wales. And by the way, the fact they were near Wales and Welshie wasn't in this... Bullshit. I'm calling it. Anyway, stewardess opens the bathroom, and there's a zombie hidden in there, because why wouldn't there be? Like, you don't see somebody go in who's, like, looking sick or anything. Just kind of a... Where did that come from? It's just amazing. Like, half of this movie must be sitting on the cutting room floor, and it's all the parts that kind of cause it to make a little bit of sense. Another fun thing with how they pussed out in this movie. There are parts where there are what's supposed to be blood smears on windows and stuff like that. Just little flecks, but they had to color them black. Because, you know, you can't make a zombie apocalypse movie and have blood in it. Man, no wonder Brad Pitt didn't want to do the reshoots. This is a fucking train wreck. Oh. Oh, also, this movie has no ending. It has absolutely no... Like, they find... They don't even find a cure. They find a way to camouflage the living from the dead. And then it's over. Yeah, like a little montage / epilogue thing, but it's like, no, that's not an ending. Ugh. So yeah, it was dreadful. It was stupid. It was bad, but damn, it was funny. Sorry, another thing from the trailers. Watching these gigantic piles of zombies, like, working as a team to climb up each other to scale huge objects, that's just dumb. In fact, the scene that leads to that is, the zombies, they hunt mainly by sound. And how they figure that out, it's a little sketchy, but I'll give it to them. No, Israel's pretty walled off. Like, Israel's totally secure. A few people just inside the walls start celebrating. One of them gets on the PA, starts singing. And all of a sudden the zombies are like, oh, hey, they're over there. And roughly 11 billion zombies charge this wall and build this human pyramid so they can get over and completely annihilate Israel. Oh, God. It's just... I don't know how the fuck this got off the ground. Just, oof. This is a... This movie is a great example of the sunk cost theorem. Like, people just kept throwing money at this thing to try to save it, when the studio should have been like, yeah, we're just gonna cut bait. Just gonna admit this is a dog and walk away. Which, from a financial point of view, is totally what they should have done. But as someone who loves bad movies, I'm glad they didn't, because, oh, God, this is awful. Oh yeah, that's World War Z. It's entertaining, but it's not good. It's definitely one of the... Right now, it's up there with Dark Skies for my favorite unintentional comedy of the year. Yeah, I'm playing the Dark Skies card. Whew. Anyway, it's Kyle Huckins for Huckins on Film, fucking off.